So how do these things get damaged? There's a variety of accidents that can happen. One is asphyxia, basically a lack. The brain relies on oxygen to function properly. If the brain is deprived of oxygenated blood for a period of time, damage can occur in a wide variety of regions. The occipital lobe is particularly vulnerable to oxygen deprivation because it is highly active, especially when we are awake. So it really is oxygen hungry. Metabolic problems. The brain also is reliant on the consumption of glucose. So if there's a metabolic issue that the brain cannot get its sugar dose, then the brain can die. Parts of the brain can die. Of course, there's also a stroke, whether it's a hemorrhagic or a bleeding stroke, where a blood vessel bursts and blood actually enters the brain, or an ischemic stroke, where the brain, where a blood vessel is blocked and oxygenated and glucose-rich blood does not reach the brain. Also within the brain, there are things called ventricles. They are here, so the occipital lobe is down here. The ventricles basically come up here and then split up. They are also, from the lateral view, let's see here we go. Also come down this way and connect up to the brainstem down here. So if any of these four ventricles, if there's a hemorrhage in them, or if the spinal fluid builds up, if pressure within these ventricles builds up, the pressure then presses up against the parts of the brain and can cause damage, in particular to the temporal or occipital lobes. Now, also, if there can also be damage to the white matter, anywhere around here. If the white matter is damaged, then, well, yes, of course, then that can also, that will, in fact, result in damage to multiple systems, not just the visual system. Actual brain injuries, either through a concussion, a blow, shaken baby syndrome, actual penetration of the brain itself, obviously would cause brain damage, especially to the parts that are near the outside. For example, in clinical and foundational causes of blindness, we heard of someone receiving a blow to the back of the brain and they lost the color red, for example. There's also brain malformations. Sometimes the brain just doesn't develop all of its parts. This could happen for a wide variety of reasons. There's also genetic issues. Sometimes chromosomes are either lacking or transformed or put in backwards, and these chromosomal malformations cause the brain to not develop correctly, or can result in certain disease processes which can go forward and then damage the brain later in life or in utero. So all these are factors in assessing the nature of a CVI and how a rehabilitation or habilitation plan can be written and implemented. This is my video, and I hope that it's understandable. Thank you for your time.